Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name's Joel Logan. I'm with A Hole in the Ground Terrain, and I want to do a video tonight about how to remove paint from old miniatures. I'm sure everybody out there has miniatures you painted years and years ago, and you look at it and you're like, darn, you know, I could paint that so much better today than when I was so and so years old many years ago. Or you may get a lot of miniatures off eBay sometime and may have horrible paint jobs, and you're like, gosh, I wish I could repaint that. Well, guess what? You can. Almost all miniatures out there, no matter how horrible the paint job, it is so easy to take that paint off. I'm here to tell you tonight about a product we probably most of us have in our house. Pinesol, guys. Pinesol, undiluted Pinesol. The rest of this video is going to be a little more in depth. We're going to take some old miniatures I've got, put them in a cup of Pinesol, let them sit 24 hours, and then clean them. And we're going to look at the results. I was very shocked about the results on 2 of these miniatures, and I'll share that with you. But remember, guys, if you've got old miniatures you want to repaint, man, just repaint them. Strip them back down. Pinesol even takes the primer off. So hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Hope you'll subscribe, leave me any comments, and if you've had any experiences stripping the paint off miniatures and restoring them so you can paint them, let us know about it. Thank you and God bless. Hello everybody. As promised, I picked out some different miniatures that we're going to test the Pinesol method on. And you may have just all kind of stuff laying around your house, but we're going to pick some different things here. I've got an old little pillar, there we go, from a Reaper set from many years ago. I probably painted this thing, gosh, 14-15 years ago. Just some miscellaneous stuff. Didn't turn out right. I've got a Stormtrooper miniature here, and I've even dipped this one in some min wax, so that'll be an interesting to test to see if it'll even take stain off. And as an added test, got some pre-painted plastic minis. Let's see if Pinesol's going to work on this. Okay, so the test is I've got plastic miniatures and metal miniatures, and a miniature that's even been dipped in min wax. So we're going to let these things sit for 24 hours, and we're going to come back 24 hours from now and see if we can get it off. So alright, I've got a cup here. We're going to put our Pinesol in. Now remember, do not dilute the Pinesol. You want it to be at full strength. Don't water it down. Now if you're cleaning around the house you may want to. Now we may have to add a little bit more, but let's throw everything in here. And we just about got it to go all the way in. Put in just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, and using the magic of editing, we're going to come back exactly 24 hours from now, and we're going to test our little experiment out. Hello everybody. You may hear my kids in the background playing, but 24 hours has elapsed. I've got this cup full of non-diluted Pinesol and some old miniatures that we wanted to see, plastic and metal, if the paint would indeed come off. Now, disclaimer, do not do this in a wide porcelain sink like in a restroom or your bathroom of your house. You want to do this in a metal sink where any of the paint pigments won't stain it or mess it up. So let's move forward a little bit. We're going to get in my kitchen sink here if my wife don't fuss at me too much. Got an old toothbrush. Most people have an old toothbrush laying around the house. Find you an old toothbrush to scrub it off with. So give me just a second here and we'll get set up in the kitchen sink. Alright everybody, I'm sure you've seen a kitchen sink before. Turn on some hot water here. And let's take one of the first miniatures out and see if the paint comes off of it. I can already feel this one starting to come off. And you can see it just peeling right off of this one metal miniature. See it going right back down to the bare metal. Now I will tell you, I did this one time many years ago, and the Pinesol took some of the skin off my hand. So be very careful not to get too much Pinesol on your hand. If you have some rubber gloves, it'd probably be good to do that. Of course, I'm bad about not wearing gloves when I do stuff. But we can see this one had come off pretty decent. Now if I spent a lot more time or had more time, I can scrub this and get almost everything off. But you should see most of it come off here. Let's try the Stormtrooper that I said had some Minwax on it, which may be another video, we'll talk about that. Now, I will say the smell of the Pinesol is very, very strong. See this little Stormtrooper guy? Back to the bare metal. Now, most of the time, what's cool about this, it even takes the primer off. So you can imagine the advantage of finding some old miniatures on eBay. I mean, for cheap as can be, that somebody's ruined. You know. Now this, I'm not sure about. This was an experiment to see if the paint would come off this. These are Wizards of the Coast D&D miniatures. And the paint, I will say, is not coming off of this. First time I've ever tried these. I'm not sure how they chemically put the paint on or seal it, but that's good to know. But if you've got any other plastic miniatures like Games Workshop miniatures, here's another Wizards of the Coast. Let's see if that comes off. And I will say the paint does not come off. So I'd be curious to know how they seal that paint. But for most other miniatures, I think here's an old Bushido miniature I got from years ago. But you see here, paint just comes right off. I mean, I'm barely having to touch it. Now you will see some of it's getting on my finger. Now see, this one's a little black. This one was primered pretty heavy. So the black paint is just, the paint and the primer is coming back off to the bare metal. And this miniature could easily be primered again and put back into service. Here's another old miniature I've had from many years ago. Let's clean this thing up. Once again, you'll see it just peels off so easy. Both primer and paint. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And remember, if you've got old miniatures that you're not happy with the paint job on, or you're looking at buying some online on eBay or somewhere, somebody's ruined with Tester's paint or whatever, heck, get a good deal on them, buy them. You can strip them down, repaint them, and they're good as new. And here's the final close-up of what we cleaned in Pinesol. Notice the two Wizards of the Coast miniatures lost no paint whatsoever, which is pretty cool. Never tried to strip one of those before. But all your metal miniatures, I could have spent more time. This one's still got a little bit in the cracks and crevices. Like I said, if I had more time, I could have got all that out. Look at how shiny the Stormtrooper. This guy even had Minwax on him. And this Bushido miniature, heavy black primer. Still just a touch of primer on it. Probably got more of that off, but just want you to know, if you've got minis that have heavy paint or bad paint jobs, just clean them in Pinesol. You can start over and repaint them.